vacant halls where those pictures used to be. Now it's shattered, broken glass, and every time I walk across, it's a reminder of our past. Like I don't give a damn about it, but you know that's not true. And I wish that you could change your mind, but you know that's not you. I mean, I don't even think about another girl, just the music now that you're gone. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I've been on the road playing lots of shows for the fans, doing me. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Thank you, you. Thank you, you. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Thank you, you. But sometimes I still think about how you were mine and I was yours, and we were fine behind closed doors. No space or time could change it all, but now we find these vacant halls where those pictures used to be. Now it's shattered, broken glass, and I no longer walk across, cause I knew it wouldn't last. Now you don't give a damn about it, but I know that's not true. And I wish that I could take things back, but truth be told, I'm through. I mean, I don't even think about another girl, just the music now that you're gone. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I've been on the road playing lots of shows for the fans, doing me. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Thank you, you. Thank you, you. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Thank you, you. But sometimes I still think about how mine, and I was yours. We were fine behind closed doors. No space or time change it all, and now we find these vacant halls. I mean, I don't even think about another girl, just the music now that you're gone. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I've been on the road playing lots of shows for the fans, doing me. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Thank you, you. Thank you, you. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Thank you, you. But sometimes I still think about how
matchup. Rain, 정윤종, Protoss. 호랑이, 이경민, Protoss. AfreecaTV ASL Season 7, Round 8, Match 4. AfreecaTV ASL Season 7, Break the Frame.
All right, fix that frame. It's ASL Season 7.
No, break the frame, John. What are you doing?
Frames are made to be broken.
So last match for round of 8 today. We have two players waiting, Rain and 호랑이. 호랑이 means tiger, by the way, in Korean.
He is the best translator.
Too bad his name is Harang too, John. What's that mean?
2 is pronounced E in Korean.
God, he's good.
Wow!
2 pro right now. We're only
Knows
a
it
minute
all.
into the show.
Okay, Rain, so you've made it to round of 8 4 times in a row. Is it due to your talent? Are you just born with it? Yes, of course, talent has to do something with it, but you also need to work for it. I have very good fundamental skills, and I think that's why I'm able to perform steadily. Okay, whereas 호랑이, you had to challenge 3 times to make it to ASL's round of 16, but you made it to round of 8, round of 8 straight away. How do you feel? I'm actually feeling a little uncomfortable. I feel as though the seat doesn't belong to me. But if I manage to beat Rain, maybe people will start to acknowledge me. Now, Rain, you seemed very confident as soon as the matchup was confirmed.
우선 경민이 형이 뭐 절대 쉬운 상대여서 그런 건 아니고
It's not that 호랑이 is an easy opponent.
그 저그가 없었기 때문에
But I was satisfied because there were no zergs on my side of the bracket.
체념하는 듯한 모습도 보였는데 경기를 이제 막 앞두고 계신 지금의 심정은 좀 다르신가요?
Now, 호랑이, you seem disappointed
피했다는
when the
그
matchup was
시점에서 이미
confirmed.
다 비슷한
What do you
것
feel
같다고
now?
생각하고 그리고 뭐 처음에는 근데 제가 푸푸전을 하기 싫어서가 아니라 뭔가 그냥
Well,
윤종이랑 좀 하기 싫은 그런 게 있었거든요.
I didn't want to face Rain. It's not because I don't like PvP.
좀 잘 만난 것 같아요. 저는 편하게
It's just that Rain is a really good player. But while practicing, I began to gain a lot of confidence in PvP. So right now, I think it's okay.
자기 편으로 만들려는 그런 모습들도 인상 깊었는데.
So during your stream, both of you try to get practice partners over the stream. Did it go well? Okay.
어떤 선수를 가장 뺏기기 싫었는데 뺏어갔나요?
I did gain a lot of practice partners, but then
장윤철 선수랑
Rain, 호랑이 took all of them.
근데 제가 좀 양보를 많이 해줬습니다.
양보해 주셨대요.
Some of the players
투자할 때 원래 가감하게 해야 되는데 100개 찔끔찔끔 하더라고요. 그래서 제가 가감하게 500개로 섭외한 거기 때문에 이건 정당 방위가 아닌가.
Okay, so it's wrong to praise that I took them away from him. I didn't bribe them. I just offered them more.
제가 몇 명만 이렇게 했어요. 그 윤철이랑 병구 형이랑
Wait, they were paying for
군대에서
training?
공부하고 계시는
practice, and he paid more than Rain.
Not money, I think. It's
balloons.
Yeah, I think balloons.
Which is money, by the way.
좀 되게 낮게 생각했나. 그래서 막상 연습하다 생각보다 잘하네 하면서 이길 수 있겠다.
So now some of these partners were players like Stork
5대5
and
정도 생각하고 있는 것 같아요.
some players that were in round of 16 ASL this season. And during practice, a lot of them said to 호랑이 that you play a lot better than expected.
기본기 싸움이었고 그리고 정민정 선수가
So he feels that a lot of players are actually underrating him.
좀 쉽지 않은 대결인 것 같아요.
Of course, the match won't be easy because it's PvP. So 호랑이 feels it's going to be 50-50 chance. Let's see how Rain feels.
저랑 게임 해본 지가 좀 오래된 것 같아요, 경민이 형이.
So it's been a long time since I played against 호랑이.
감을 좀 못 잡는 것
감을
같은가요?
좀 잊은 것 같아요. 제가 온라인에서 거의
I think that's why he overrates his chances.
오늘도 그걸
On
보여주겠습니다.
online, like out of 3 matches, I tend to win like 2 of them. So I'll show how it goes today. Last words before the match.
그 배당률이 있거든요. 근데 제가 한
So
4배
on a website called Ygosu, there's a betting system. And
네.
apparently
박수 한번 주셔야 될 것 같은데요.
the odds are
이경민 선수
against me
응원하시는
4
분들은.
times compared to
네,
Rain.
알겠습니다. 두 선수 모두 오늘
I
최선의
hope to
경기
prove that wrong.
보여주시길 기대하겠습니다. 고맙습니다.
아, 감사합니다.
고맙습니다.
감사합니다.
Right, that's it for the
자,
interview.
오늘 경기를
you, John.
통해서
Thank you,
마지막
John.
4강 진출자가 탄생하는
That
순간
play
끝까지
early on when you told us what
바랍니다.
harangue was, and then you said that E is 2. That's going on your highlight reel for sure, man. Okay.
정도의 대규모 물량 차이는 넋이 나갔어요 지금. 인구수 2배 격차를 벌였습니다.
OATV ASL Season 5.
새로운 역사를 쓰는 선수가 나왔습니다. 프로토스 왕제에서 ASL 황제를 거듭낸 성인용 선수가 왔습니다. 지금 뮤탈밖에 없어요. 내줄 수밖에 없는 테라는 못 막아내거든요.
제가 또 우승을 했거든요. 결승까지는 갈 수 있지 않을까 생각하고 있습니다.
Rain.
이번 시즌 마지막 기회가 될 수 있습니다. 더 이상 물러설 것이 없거든요.
을 드러냈습니다.
밀로 들어왔는데요.
사태 수준입니다.
이제 가장 물량까지 정리하면서 8강 진출 확정 지었습니다.
이경민 선수의 판단이 결국 들어맞았죠.
좀 많이 왔는데요, 아래쪽에서.
3번 끝에 8강 진출 토스는 토스를 잡는다. 후프전을 만나고 싶네요. 예.
호랑이.
승리를 따냈습니다. 8강 8강. 이경민 선수가 승리 따내면서 8강 진출 이뤄냈습니다.
OATV ASL Season 7. Round 8. Match 4.
All right, we are back, and it's time to start this PvP. This is the last best of 5 before we go to the final 4 of the ASL.
That's right. 3 slots already decided. This PvP will give us last opponent for next week. And it's a pretty good PvP, but obviously Rain, considered the best Protoss in the world since Bisu went to the military. One of the favorites for winning this tournament, in fact, has to be the favorite.
He's looking like the best modern Protoss that we've had. I mean, he's really, in all 3 matchups, very clean, able to do really every range of Protoss play. I think, generally speaking, Protoss people tend to be concerned about their matchup versus Zerg. Rain looks perfectly capable of beating anybody in that matchup. PvP, Rain, we were talking about this last night. We were doing our Terran vs. Terran match here in the round of 8. Can you think of anybody really beating Rain PvP at this level anymore? I mean, not even just Harangi, just anybody. Rain looks so solid, so good.
Yeah, he looks pretty ridiculous. By the way, our finals.
Yes.
5 p.m. on the 17th of March. It's a Sunday. It is going to be at Olympic Park Hall. So that's kind of a cool area. The Olympics once were in Seoul, and they were mostly over there. If you want to attend this, you have to buy a ticket, though.
Yeah.
And it is going to fill up.
Yeah, in fact, once tickets go on sale, I would buy that immediately. We do sell out finals at a pretty shockingly fast pace for ASL. So buy the ticket. If you're overseas, buy the ticket first, then book your flight. And I will say this every time, but every finals we have, someone's tweeted us saying, I'm outside, I didn't realize I had to get a ticket. And there is nothing we can do to help you, unfortunately.
Yes,
so
sorry.
You don't want to fly all the way out here and then be like, whoops.
Yeah.
So here's what our final 4 is so far. We have one more slot, which will be a Protoss, whether that be Rain, who we expect, or Harangi. A crazy upset to get to that 4th slot.
Yeah, and the finals, there's a lot of really interesting finals that we could have here. The fact that Effort could have a repeat. Rain and Last have steadily been 2 of the absolute best players in the world.
Producing the best results in the last year.
That's right. Last year, those 2 actually had the best results over everybody. So, you know, there's just a handful of players at the very, very, very top, right? It's like Flash and Last and Rain and Effort. And Sulky, I would say, right? Those are kind of the guys right now that we look to as okay, these are the guys that really can win championships. And we got 3 of them here remaining right now.
And here's our map lineup. Whiteout, Matchpoint, Blockchain, Neo-Sylphid, and then Whiteout again is with Brood War Tradition. The first map is also always the last map.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the Blockchain game. Those games, those have always been very interesting. We have a couple flat maps in here. Let's not forget, in Matchpoint and Neo-Sylphid, PvP plays very different on flat maps.
Yeah, there's a lot less room for tech rushing or certain types of tech cheesing in any map where you do not have a ramp, especially a small ramp. But here, I mean, some of these maps, it's simply a bottleneck opening on the same terrain.
And Harangi actually has banned Matchpoint, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit surprised that he is the one that banned that, because it being a flat map, you know, it's one that if you feel like you're worse than your opponent, you might be able to roll the dice and get a lucky outcome.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Harangi has really put a lot of prep into today. The problem is that Rain, who was one of the most dominant players in StarCraft 2 when he was active, has come back to StarCraft 1 and is now one of the most dominant players there. Rain is, in some ways, you could argue, the most accomplished in multiple RTS titles out of anybody that we've had, along with Soulkey.
Yeah.
You know, winning GSLs and ASLs.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's pretty insane what this guy has accomplished, and he's definitely not done, not by a long shot. He doesn't have military service ever coming, so his career just kind of lasts indefinitely.
That's right.
It's an important thing to mention. He donated part of his liver. Was it one of his kidneys or part of his liver?
I actually can't remember. I believe it was, well, it was definitely one of those two.
It was one of those two.
It was like part of his heart or something.
Yeah.
It just grows back like a starfish. It's
But yeah, his father needed it basically, and once he did that, he was no longer eligible for military service, so he is done with that.
Yep. Oh, look at Harangi in this shot. It's a great photo of him, Martosis.
Indeed. Who wore it better?
Who wore it better? The big question here in ASL.
Yeah.
Now, Harangi is, look, this guy has been steadily improving. Like we were saying about Sharp here. I mean, I think Sharp showed some of the best TVTs we've seen in a long time. Even though he didn't manage to beat last, there was no shame in the way he lost. I feel like Harangi is quietly doing that with Protoss here. He's been moving up. Every time I see him, he seems more comfortable on stage.
Yeah.
His games are looking less and less sloppy. And in Brood War, there's always going to be some slop in play. It's just kind of almost impossible to do everything at once. So, yeah, let's see how he performs this time around. The problem is that Rain is so experienced and so solid, and nobody, frankly, looks as good as him with Protoss, or even at some of the other races. I mean, Rain, especially the games we saw that brought him here to the round of 8, were some of the most complete and total smashings of Zergs I've ever seen.
He's a rock and roller, man.
He made the matchup look so easy.
Yeah.
And the Zergs look so bad, despite these being some of the strongest Zergs out there. Zergs such as Larva.
Yeah. Rain really does look in top form, but these other high-end Protoss players, we're kind of in a time of Protoss in a way where we have more top-end Protoss players than ever before. Remember the time of the 6 Dragons? I feel like we're beyond that now. Like, I guess Shuttle just went to military, and also Bisou's in military, so we can't count those two. But, like, look, Rain,
Mini.
Snow, Mini. Now Harangi is always at the top of tournaments as well. And then we have some others that are just barely a step below right now. Like, oh, wait, no, and Best is absolutely at that level too. But then right below that, right, we have a huge amount of great Protoss players as well, like Movie and Stork and, you know, many others where we have a huge amount of very, very strong players. So while I would agree with you that Rain overall, in my opinion, is the best one, the fact that apparently Harangi was bribing all the Protoss players to practice with him, I mean, there's a lot of good Protosses to play with and a lot of good opinions out there for him to gather on how to beat Rain.
Let's also keep in mind that PvP, especially on some of these maps, which we'll be unpacking more when we go into game, but this is a matchup where there's a lot of limitations and a lot of bluffing and disguising that goes on within the matchup. If we get to late game PvP, that's going to be very interesting to see how these two can play against each other. But the early into mid game section of PvP is the most important. There's certain things that you can give up, which may leave you vulnerable to all-ins, but could allow you to topple your opponent. We'll be, again, unpacking that a little bit more when we get into game because there's a lot of different rock, paper, scissors-ish stuff that can go on in the matchup, build-order-wise, even though sometimes controlling the center of the map or in certain fighting positions can really come down to just control itself.
Indeed. Well, Whiteout is going to start it out for us. This is a ramped map, a 3-player map. Obviously, drops can be quite strong here, but nothing too weird, I think, for PvP.
Fight! Fight until you die by the pain of the one you hate. End of reason, end of the game. Die by the pain of the one you like. Now play in Whiteout.
Okay.
3 full turns on that probe.
Oh, is that for rain down there?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
You know, it's funny. You play StarCraft your whole life and still not get that split out perfectly. It is actually a pretty big deal when you mess up your split, by the way. It's not the end of the world, but I mean, you know, it can be kind of bad. So Harangi's here in the top right. Rain is here in the bottom center.
Yeah, so.
Harangi with 530 APM. We're getting to the point where you almost can't get higher than that.
Definitely right about that. APM, I think, is measured just slightly different now than it used to be. And it's difficult to talk about APM with people involved with StarCraft 2 because there's a lot of specialty keybinds and repeat rate tricks that people use for the game itself that makes the APM go off the charts very quickly. Like, a lot of players will have 500, 800,000 APM suddenly in a game, especially Zerg players where it's like repeat rates and things.
Yeah, like holding keys down and cycling.
Yeah. And there are ways to kind of boost APM, but yeah, basically 500 is about as high as anyone can get realistically in StarCraft 1.
You know, I like to put this disclaimer out here every once in a while because APM used to be one of the big selling points to media organizations that don't get anything about this game at all. As you say, well, you know how fast they have to play, and suddenly that intrigue kicks in. What? They have this much APM?
Yeah.
But in a phase of the game like this, you could have 30 APM and do all the same things at the start of the game. You don't need to do anything quick at all. And now some players want to get their hands warmed up, get the blood flowing, click around.
Every good player, in fact.
Yeah.
It's always, I don't even know if it's a troll or there's actually so many people that don't understand that because I feel like every time I'm streaming or anyone else is, people come in, why are they spamming? He doesn't need to do all that. And it's like, no. You actually, you do. You want to keep yourself warm. You want to be moving. Because there is, I mean, very quickly you go from not needing that many actions to needing more actions than any other esport.
But the point I was trying to make here is that, for instance, Harangi has about 130 APM more than Rain here. That doesn't really mean anything.
Oh, no.
As far as an indicator for the game, even though those are over 100 actions more looks like a really big deal. It's actually not as important.
Harangi's speed will drop.
Yes.
Absolutely. Like, if he even has 300 during the actual regular parts of the game, that'll be impressive.
And also, specifically, like in a lot of micro fights and PvP, precision is the most important thing. You know, whether it be getting the right Psy Storms out or controlling the Reaver and the shuttle correctly, you're generally not spamming. You're just sitting there very still, trying to make these very precise moves. Oh, we got a Matter Pylon here.
Slips both the probes out. So now, what is this probe doing? It's going to proxy a Reaver or a DT tech?
Well, there's a problem already because 2 Matter Pylons inside of Harangi's base is really, really quite bad. And this is what happens if you skip the Zealot, which is fairly uncommon now in PvP. You almost always get the Zealot out immediately. If you don't see the Zealot, though, you can Matter Pylon. Dragoons don't deal damage as fast as Zealots do. And so already this is pretty bad. Now, he didn't follow this up with any kind of rush. He did hide the probe inside the main. I feel like Rain is playing 1,000 times better than Harangi here. Okay.
Well, 1,000 times better, but will that matter if you lose all your probes to a Reaver drop?
Well, here's the problem is that he's actually, oh my God, he's hitting the probe under the tree. That's so sick. So the problem is when you come in here, and it should be hard to stop. I don't know if Harangi noticed that the probe was gone or not, but it seems like he didn't.
Well, he had no real vision of the ramp, right? So he's certainly not sure.
So,
and this is so important for Rain. Oh, is he actually going to check? No, he doesn't.
This is such a bad start, really, because if the probe comes in there and scouts and you just see the lack of everything, that you know that this should be a proxy something.
Yeah. Which isn't really that popular in PvP.
No.
I can't remember the last time I saw a proxy in this matchup.
Not only that, I would say this is actually, a proxy robo is actually unpopular in this matchup and has never really been much of a thing.
Well, the robo is something that you got to continually produce units out of. So, like, this is, in some ways, it feels kind of all in, right? Like, he's got to make it do something because of how far away it is from everything else.
The robo is such a core text fixture. Okay, now Harangui's going to be really cursing himself because when you see this probe come in here, he sees the...
Oh, my God.
He's going to see that there's no robo. He's going to see a suspiciously low amount of gateways.
Well, he could have missed a robo on the left, right? I didn't watch the full unit movements.
He could have. He could think that this is the robo.
Oh, my God.
What?
He's sneaking where his expansion is, and it's right near that robo.
Oh, this is our... Okay, so this is one of these PvPs that we just will never cast again. It's going to be a 1 in a million. I mean, the idea of a hidden Nexus down there in the bottom left, adjacent to, unbeknownst to him, a proxy robo. Like, I will never cast a game like this again, ever.
It's pretty wild.
It just doesn't happen.
My God. Well, this has to favor Harangue, right?
Well,
there can be no other way, right?
It just depends on what the thing is if he doesn't do enough damage with the proxied robo and he loses the shuttle or loses the robo bay itself, he's in so much trouble. Less observers, shuttles, reavers.
Well, this first reaver is going to be popping out. He's not going to have any other units with it. The funny thing is going to be if he flies over the Nexus, and that is what gives the warning to rain.
Yeah, that's what's so weird about it, is that he's going to see this.
Is he?
Hold on.
Hold on. Switch vision. Did he see it? No, I don't know if he saw it, actually.
But he might when it's chased back out. Now, he's going to have to grab everything and pull it. Here we go. He sees the shuttle coming in here now. Probes are not being pulled just yet.
Oh, nice hit right there. Oh, my God. Is he going to lose the shuttle? Are you? Oh, my God.
Okay, that was crazy. Now he sees the other Nexus, so already on both sides, this game is not going the way they were anticipating it going.
That is an understatement right there, right?
So this Reaver could come down here and hit.
8 kills on that one Scarab.
So crazy. Okay, and here comes a second Reaver. Now, what's funny about this is, I guess in theory, you can actually push as Harangue. You got your Reavers out earlier. I think you almost want to, I don't know how this works. I guess you want to neglect the hidden Nexus and maybe try to push up the ramp. I don't know, man. This is so weird.
Hold on. How many hit points does the Nexus have exactly? Okay, it has
750.
1,500. So 1,500. So it takes, what, like 15 Scarabs to kill it, right? So it's 15 times 15.
Well, the shields come back. Let's see. Yeah, I guess he could just go ahead and take this out. It is free.
Well,
there's no way to get over
what
there.
I'm trying to say, right? Hold on.
Well, that's right. That's the thing about using Scarabs is it's actually a lot of money to get that. I mean, it's always good to get the Nexus, but this is kind of a funny.
I remember when I did the math on killing a pylon with Scarabs, it was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, that is not actually a very good value at all.
Yeah. So, Harangue wins this kind of weird fight, and one of the most unexpected games I've actually casted in a while. This has been such a weird game.
It costs the time and 225 minerals to kill the Nexus with Reavers.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
How funny.
It's like not quite the cost of a Nexus, obviously, but it's over half.
Yeah. No, you're definitely spending quite a bit. I mean, Scarabs ideally are used, well, first of all, to kill workers, but then if they can go into big clumps of units and basically reduce their HP for very low cost. So we've got another robo that's actually being made back at home here. Now, Harangue's being pretty smart. He knows that he's forced Rain into Dragoon Reaver at home. And if you're going for Dragoon Reaver, you might as well go for a push. Now, shuttle speed is done here for Rain. Woo! Oh, he's going to get it.
That's a good kill.
Okay, now here comes that shuttle of Harangue. He's going to push.
It feels like Harangue is just so far ahead right now.
Oh, well, he definitely is. The thing is, it's still going to come down to some of these Dragoon Reaver dogfights we have here. Okay, he's going to try to edge in here now. Good pickups. A lot of times when you're doing this where you're both firing at each other, the idea is that you want your Dragoons to dive in and hit the shuttle while the pickups are happening. They both have shuttle speed, which is a necessity in this type of situation.
Well, right now, Rain leaving a lot of units in his home base. Ooh, speed shuttle coming up. Not perfectly placed goons, but pretty well done.
Now keep in mind, if these Dragoons kill this shuttle, even if he loses a lot of probes, you can sometimes win in the counter push. Here we go.
Ooh, targeting down the goons immediately here. He's actually going to get 2 of them. There was a lot of probes there, too. Ooh, nice
this
pullback.
Is
nice
excellent
pullback.
control here by Harangi. He's basically zipping the Dragoon away. Oh, okay, not bad.
I think he got like 5 probes, 6 probes, and then also, what was it, 2, 3 goons?
Yeah.
3 goons, I believe.
Yeah, one thing about when you're microing against Reavers is as the Scarab shot's coming, you want the other unit to be running away. It's going to lose more, it's going to take more of just the splash part and less of the core hit damage.
Yeah, like literally it'll just take the splash part. It's like the most important micro you can do versus a Reaver.
Okay. Coming up now, great shooting here by Harangi.
Ooh, oh my
Harangi
God.
got crazy with this shuttle. The shuttle is going to die now.
I was a little bit surprised he never ended up getting shuttle speed.
Oh, he did. I thought he did have shuttle speed.
No, Harangi did not. Rain did.
Yeah, well, shuttle speed's a must.
Ooh, good kill. Good hits here by Harangi overall. I like some of that targeting.
The question now, though, is going to be what's going to happen with Rain's push. I think that Rain may, I don't know what's back at home as far as Reavers go. Okay, there's 1 Reaver, but there's no shuttle. 2 Reavers and a shuttle with these Dragoons, when controlled correctly, can do so much damage. Keep in mind the main is exposed.
Especially the fact that it's a speed shuttle as well. You got to be so careful. You got to split your units and everything too.
Having this pylon at the front is actually really important. So he's going to come in now. Now the goal is to try to draw more Dragoons into the main. Really excellent control here. Oh my God, he's so good with this.
Yeah, very good micro on both sides here. Look at that. The Observer actually tanking some shots.
Yeah, the Observer's going to go down now. Now he's going to do a kind of a fakie and just dive back in.
This could be big.
Oh man! Ooh. Are you serious? Oh my God, you're going to be so mad as Rain in that moment.
Yeah.
There's so much damage that could have been done that the Scarabs dudded.
Now, to be fair, you have to be a little bit lucky there, especially with that building placement in particular.
Right.
The correct way to make building placements against Reavers is to make very small lines so all your workers kind of stack and go in a line, because unless they are targeting one of the ones in the back that the Scarab could actually connect with, it will dud the Scarab automatically because they're traveling in a line and it literally can't get to the one it needs to.
Here comes the push now at the front, and he's slowly chipping away at this pylon. He needs to make sure he picks up before any of the other Scarabs connect on the ground. Okay, the pylon goes down. Is he going to try to dive in? Without the pylon there, it's harder to get the AI to target the wrong thing. Okay, when Reaver goes down,
oh my God,
the other shuttle's not close to where this Reaver is.
Rain's Reaver's doing very much more than his opponents.
Thing is, the arc here is a little bit better for Harangi.
He still has that 1 Reaver in the shuttle. Tries to push him back more.
He just seems to have a bit too much. Does he dive back into the main? I don't know what's there to defend. Looks like he's already preempting that. Harangi moving his Dragoons back over there.
Wow, lots of Reavers being made right now. You know, that's a conversation we have a lot in PvPs, the double shuttle Reaver.
Yeah, it's funny because if you go double shuttle, so like quad Reavers, you're definitely getting your tech out a little bit later. It's harder to win in a straight up, okay, hold on, this is crazy. He's going to do just a massive drop here. You know, this angle right here, this is not bad at all. Oh my God, none of those are going to connect, are they?
Only 1.
Now watch how much harder this is for a Rain to try to control this with the Reavers and getting the use out of this. And so, see, those 2 other Reavers didn't really do that much.
We killed 2, 4, 6, 7 goons and a few probes, like 1, 2 probes or something.
Yeah, keeping that Dragoon count low is pretty important.
And I guess, like, if you kill 2 goons with a Reaver, it's semi-equal. You know, you have to count in the Scarab costs as well, how many Scarabs were actually shot, what dudded and whatnot. how many were left over, but
by the way,
it's pretty close.
Harangue's playing a great game here.
Yeah, he is. Well, he kind of got the good end of a build order, too, let's not forget, right? He proxied a Robo right near a Nexus.
Yeah.
A hidden Nexus.
It's like two builds that people don't really do.
In a regular game, neither of those things really get scouted, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then Rain probably gets way ahead with that hidden base.
This is where if you found this game in a replay pack you were trying to learn, you would probably turn it off once you saw the two builds opening.
Oh, absolutely.
You're like, okay, this isn't going to help me. I can only watch this for entertainment purposes.
I turn replays like that off all the time.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, no, this isn't real.
This isn't going to help me. So we have a lot more Zealots coming out here. Hold on.
Ooh. Those two Reavers just ready.
Oh!
Okay.
Gets the shuttle.
Yeah, he doesn't drop out either of the Reavers there. These Zealots don't have their legs yet.
Yeah, and with just the angling here of these Reavers in the back, this is so much damage. It's so hard to actually kill any of these Reavers. Plus, there's shuttles that can pick them up.
The fact that Rain is going to end up taking this one tasteless.
Well, that was just a really good engage. And, you know, I'll tell you, man, had he kept that shuttle alive, maybe it would have been a little bit of a different story.
Yeah.
Man.
Very well done by Rain, though. He definitely was at a deficit for a very long time in this game.
GG, nicely done. Rain is just so solid. He's such a good player.
Yeah.
Really playing that quite brilliantly.
He's super strong right now. Harangue can't be happy with that. He gets the lucky end of a build order. Gets ahead. He was up good 15 supply for quite a while.
Yeah, he really was.
And even he got a great Scarab hit on the probes early on, too. Let's not forget that 8 probes with 1 Scarab. But it wasn't enough. Rain just kind of outdid him. Let's not forget, though, as well, positionally, Rain had a little bit of an advantage. The back of Harangue's main was to Rain. He utilized that quite effectively.
Thing is, build orders back there are not going to telegraph anything about our future games.
Yeah.
That was one of the weirder PvP openings you could ever ask to have. The way those builds are interacting, the proxied Robo near the hidden Nexus, that's like not a thing. So we're going to be going to a quick little break, but when we come back, game number 2 is going to be on Match Point, a one-on-one map. This should be make for a pretty cool PvP. It doesn't really matter which starting location you get on this either, unlike some of these 3-player maps. Should be for a more interesting game. Stick around. We'll be right back with game 2 in just a little bit.
On AfreecaTV TV.
경찰들이 꼴통들이 많네.
이제부터 시작이지. 오대기 붉은 등 2개 상황 긴급이야.
그건 전문주랑 계속 짓거든. 저 내가 잡을 거예요.
Gloves, come on.
Look down and there they are. You just look down and there they are.
Wow! It's like you're always stuck in second gear.
okay, Phoebe?
Yeah, no, I'm just, it's not even worth it. It's my bank.
Always on OLED TV.
OLED TV ASL Season 7. Break the frame.
Hello. Welcome back to the ASL. We're going to be going into game number 2 here. Very weird builds that ended up interacting with each other in game 1. Rain seemed to, even though I think he got a little bit off his footing at the start, he just seems to have better intuition about where to strike with Reavers, how to have better control overall in general with Dragoon Reaver.
Yeah.
And we did see the multi-Reaver play, 2 shuttles, 4 Reavers being used. Whereas Harangi was teching into Templars. High Templar Storm is like the best late game spell in PvP. You really can't top anything beyond that, especially if you get to Storm drops with speed shuttles. But the thing is, when you have someone who's going for multiple Reavers, more than 2 Reavers and more than 1 shuttle, sometimes you can get in there and kill them before they're able to get their Templar tech up and really defend themselves.
Yeah, slow Zealots, not going to pair too well against 4 Reavers. And
yeah.
Of course, without the Psystorm, that's kind of the counter to the Reavers. If you just Psystorm on top of Reavers, it does such massive damage that even flying with the shuttles save them does so much damage to the shuttle that everything gets destroyed very quickly. It's just he did nail that timing, but he also fought back from quite a deficit. So I feel like that game really did show how strong Rain is in comparison to Hornet.
Yeah. Going into game 2, we're going to be on match point. I have to imagine the builds here will be probably more ordinary unless somebody decides to proxy in the other player's main or right outside of their natural.
That would be weird. I think it's just going to be one of these games that stays on one base for quite some time. You know, these flat maps, things like 3-Gate Goon can just set up such a contain. It's very hard to come out of chokes against that. Of course, that makes DTs very strong. And of course, whenever DTs are strong, Observer tech is strong, which of course is weak to the 3-Gate. Now, it's not as bad as a map like Gladiator with the reverse mains, where, just to make this clear, it's not as ridiculously hard of a rock, paper, scissors scenario as that. Like, for instance, Gladiator, if you have the low ground main with the ramp up to your natural, the 3-Gate becomes so unfathomably powerful that it's like a free win if it's against many builds, which causes that rock, paper, scissors to form.
Yeah. On a straight-up flat map, it's much more manageable. You can go 2 Gateway into a Robo and Observer and play a very middle-of-the-road game. And that game is ready. Let's go. Game 2, Rain versus Harangi.
Fight until you die. Now playing in match point.
Okay, so it's Rain in the top right, and it's Harangi in the bottom left.
Quite excited here. You know, that was an interesting thing you pointed out where Harangi skipped the Zealot in the last game.
Yeah, that is not common anymore. I mean, it really, you just getting the one Zealot out earlier, and it's weird because you like hold probes for a little bit and make a Zealot, and then you eventually get the other pylon up, but just being able to slow down or stop the Manor Pylon, because I'm very curious what Harangi's build looks like if you don't get Manor Pylon. One of the reasons why he got the he skipped the Zealot in that case is because he needed to hide the Pylon. He needed the minerals out there right away, and in order to make this proxy really fast, then you have to go right into a Robo. But Rain just got inside the base, and whether he had sniffed out the proxy or not, he definitely looked at this and thought, oh, okay, I'm going to punish this right now. Some of you might that maybe are not that familiar with StarCraft 1 might be looking at this and saying, how could that possibly be worth it to put a pylon in the mineral patch? That doesn't seem like it's going to be that effective, especially when you let it finish. They lose so much money with the probes that get stuck there or the probes that have to go behind the minerals.
Yeah.
They're slowed down an incredible amount.
It takes a really long time. Obviously, it kind of shows you what units they have and what they're doing to some some extent at least. It's not the biggest part of it by any means, but yeah, it was figured out at some point that these are really, really stifling to the economy, especially if they don't have that Zealot. I think if the Zealot is out, it's a much bigger question as to whether or not you want to make the Manor Pylon. Whereas if the Zealot is not out and they're going to wait and then make a Dragoon, you are gaining so much out of it. It's crazy.
Yeah. This was originally, Dragoon right away was popularized when people figured out how to micro perfectly against Zealots. Where as long as you could shoot down the Zealots as they came into your base, you would have so much more momentum. As you would have more Dragoons, they were usually using their Zealots to try to target down your workers. But then Manor Pylon got figured out, and Manor Pylon was probably one of the most controversial things to ever happen in PvP because it became so upsetting and frustrating when it was first experienced for players in this matchup.
Yeah.
A lot of people wouldn't want to play you. If you did, people just get angry and upset because, half the time, the Pronosters who hadn't figured it out thought, okay, this isn't good, though.
Yeah.
And it, in fact, really was. And then you started seeing pros do it on TV. And then it just became a thing where you either had to be ready to block it with your probes, put pylons in your base to try to block their Manor Pylon. And we're seeing now Harangi here with that Zealot out right away to basically make this not viable.
Yeah, I think it's a good little change right there. Zealot's going to be useful anyways. Very good at tanking hits.
Yeah, especially if you have a bunch of Dragoons against a bunch of Dragoons. Having one Zealot in the mix is pretty handy.
It really is.
Suddenly they have to kite and micro away from the Zealot while you're just...
Zealots just have a higher DPS, damage per second, than Dragoons do. It's something very important to remember. And Goons, everything does full damage to shields, but Goons do half damage to Zealots, plus they have an armor. So, you put all that together, and Zealots actually pair reasonably well, like, as a tanking unit against them. And then, of course, we see in the later game a very big switch into speed Zealots a lot of the time.
Right. Okay, so it's going to be Dark Templar tech from Harangi off of the one gate. He should be getting a second one, I think, unless he's doing a fast expand build. Now, the question that we want to find out for Rain is he going to get the Robo right away?
Well, he's only gone 2 gates, so I think so, right? Like, I don't think you just go 2 gates unless it was, like, 2 very fast gates for a range attack. I remember a long time ago that being a build of PvP on flat maps. What was it, like 10-15 gate or something? You just go mass range Goons and try to knock them down. But I haven't seen anything like that, really. I would imagine a Robo will be coming up.
Yeah, there's also things you could do like go 2 gate and then just, try to sneak out and expand here. Now, I still don't see a Robo yet. There's still time for Rain to try to throw one down here.
It's got a huge gas bank. I think we're about to see one go down.
There's a Templar Archives.
Not yet. No Robo still. Oh my, Tasteless.
Yeah. Now you could even get a Nexus and a Forge. It's one of the weirder builds you can do, but you can try to make a cannon there.
With 2 range gates? That would be so weird.
There's really weird, dumb stuff you can do that occasionally. It's like what you're doing is it's like a weird blind counter to a build that is probably not common, but you've suspected it. And if you pull it off, you win really hard. So we still have no Robo here, right?
No, he started the Robo.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right as you started explaining that.
Must have been drinking my coffee. I missed that. Sorry. Now, the style that Harangi's playing is actually a risky DT rush. Mm-hmm. It's a DT rush where he says, I don't think you would dare DT rush me.
I like that. Why waste your time with that? Wow, look at this. He's trying to push forward. He actually picks off those 2 Goons, but I think this is not really going to do as much as maybe he was looking for here.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a weird trade here. Now, when you lose most of your main army in fights like this, the DTs can become a little bit trickier to deal with.
Now look at this, the DT actually fighting against the Goons immediately, so I think that this pressure from Rain overall, at least it shows him where the DTs are, exactly when they're coming out. He's going to easily have an observer in time as well.
Now it's still 1 gate here. He's getting observers, but to be frank, guys, I think Harangi's gamble paid off. He's going to have another base.
Yeah,
he's going to be able to make Dragoons with range. I mean, he has 1 gate. He needs to get 2 more gateways down here pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's forcing detection on the other side. He's not really losing that many probes. These DTs will be able to clean this all up.
Harangi's other gates are actually a little bit too late here. I think he's been thrown off by what's going on.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because, he's got a Forge here. So he was a little bit concerned about DTs of his own.
Well, I think it's because he has so few gates that he realized that this could snowball eventually with an observer, because DTs can't fight against goons with observers. So I actually like the idea of grabbing a forge just to throw down a couple cannons, make sure you live, because Rain doesn't even have an expansion up yet.
Right, yeah. I mean, all you got to do is hold on and sustain here.
Yeah, the observer is coming, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay, he needs to turn around here. That observer's almost there. Meanwhile, the other DT is going across the map for counterattack play. It is spotted here by this one observer now. Oh, good block there with the Dragoon.
Yeah, he's going to be able to pick off that DT, so very nicely done. The other one going to turn around, get out of here. And Rain does have a Nexus on the way, but as you can see, not done yet.
Now, how much is actually here? Now, that might be enough cannons to do it.
I don't think that these goons are going to quite break it, right? Because he's going to have 3 cannons plus a couple goons.
He's got a Templar, too. I don't know if he's got Storm.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Actually, he didn't have that third one warp in yet. I thought that was another goon, not a Templar. And now the Templar's just sitting there. It's like, please shoot me instead of these cannons.
Yeah, he's actually offering the Templar up.
Yeah.
Sacrificially. So
oh my
Storm
God.
must be a little ways off. If you can target with Dragoons against cannons, you can kill them very quickly. It's when you move into stuff that it doesn't work out.
Is he Hydra busting Harangi right now?
He is Hydra busting Harangi now. But here comes the 1 DT. Is there defense?
My God. I don't know, Tasis.
You know, this is a funny thing is, we talk about PvP and sometimes it's rock, paper, scissors fashion, but then when you look at what Rain is capable of doing in any situation, you realize there's so much more to this matchup than that. He's so good at controlling everything and making these decisions. Like, what a weird game. He's Dragoon pushed in here. Looks like Harangi might hang on.
He's making a couple more cannons, but what's going to happen is Rain is going to poke again with 4 goons and cancel those cannons because there's no units in front of him.
He's also, I think he's going to go for a DT drop inside the main.
Oh.
Sometimes they don't have cannons there. When you see this style of play, the later counter is that you DT drop them. And even if they have one cannon, if your DTs can target it down quick enough, like you fly the shuttle over the cannon, like you bulldog it, and just drop DTs right on top of it, and then try to snipe it. Sometimes you're okay.
Sure. It's actually an old StarCraft 2 PvP strat too.
Yeah,
when you would go or a cannon in the main,
Yeah.
you just drop DTs on it, no problem. It's gone.
Exactly.
Okay, well, he has the cannons up. He has a few goons out. Definitely Harangi lost a decent amount of probes during all of that. And I don't think he ever started a +1 on his forge, so I don't feel like Harangi is really ahead in any way anymore.
Well, I mean, he's going to have the option with storms to maybe try storm drops here.
Oh, yeah.
Which are going to be a pretty... I mean, storm drops, especially if you have shuttle speed, guys, storm drops are the most powerful thing in this matchup. Because when you storm drop probes, have no HP. And Storm does damage so quickly that a lot of times you don't even have time to pull them away.
It's pretty insane. In fact, it's better in this matchup than the other ones in a lot of ways. Like, there's less drones on mineral patches. Probes are always very saturated. And SCVs can run a little bit better because they have slightly more health. So
yeah, it takes a little bit longer for the Storm to kill them. When you storm probes, pretty much everything dies.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, in PvP, it's not like you're both necessarily taking tons of expansion. So to storm drop someone on 2 bases is huge. You can easily kill off half the probes they have.
And this is a good map for it as well because you do have that kind of wall around the natural and the main base, so it's hard to see anything coming in. Looks like he's getting ready to even spot it. A lot of gates going up.
Here we go. Right, here we go. There's an observer here. Good pull here by Rain.
Yeah, that's an excellent pull.
Hold on.
That was such a late storm.
I can't believe it. He did not get a single probe.
He got 1 probe.
Oh, he got 1 probe.
Okay. 1 probe. That was cast so late. I'm actually very surprised. Rain has his observer there.
One other thing that makes Storm Drop strong on this map is, unless you can hit the shuttle by ground, in which on match point you can surround that, but. If you can fly over any kind of adjacent area on the map where there's just nothing there, it's hard to get the shuttle. You basically have to monitor that shuttle for the rest of the game. Kind of like we see in StarCraft 2 where the War Prism just parks somewhere.
Yeah, totally.
And the guy that's going roaches and Ravagers can't really do anything about it. Okay, now here comes Reigns. Oh my God.
All right, better one than what Harangi did there. That's for sure.
What? Oh, okay.
I don't know why that observer
I don't know,
was
I
going
don't know
up
what was
there.
happening with that observer. Now, Harangi's going to take another base. And that's going to be the one up here, the mineral only.
It seems like the macro of Rain is really, really on point.
It does.
I feel like he has more gates, right? It's 6 gates against how many in Rain's base?
I think he had 7 or 8.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep in mind that this spot actually is also a little bit tricky because your opponent gets the high ground position here, which obviously matters a lot more in StarCraft 1, especially in Dragoon versus Dragoon.
Yeah. Well, Psystorm does not care about high ground, so that is one thing to mention.
There should be plenty more, and I think Zealot's speed is going to finish up here.
Yeah,
now, one thing, this is a really subtle timing, okay? But when you have Templars out, but you haven't made Archons, he's making one now, but if you haven't made Archons, and the speed Zealots get in there, and you've just got 1 or 2 Templars, and they throw, sometimes the Zealots can kill everything. Because speed Zealots are actually quite good against Dragoons.
Indeed they are. Okay, adding another gate right now. Harangi going to see if he can hold on to this base. Rain moving up with a pretty massive army right now.
Looks like
get caught.
Harangi wants to take control of the high ground here.
Rain taking his 3rd. A little bit late on every expansion this game thus far.
And another shuttle drop here. Now, due to the way this game opened up, neither player went for Reaver, and therefore we don't have shuttle speed in play. So both of them, their storm drops are a lot less scary than they could be. It's very hard to react faster than a speed shuttle.
Yes.
But in this game, the storm drop is still so strong, there's no reason to not try it.
Oh, well.
Okay, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, none of these storm drops doing quite as much as I'm used to seeing them do.
Sometimes you can try to hide the Templar.
By the way, what do you think about this double forge? I don't see that too often, I feel like.
Oh, I think it's good. If you're in a game like this where neither player ended up going Reaver tech, you can go double forge. I mean, why not? It's you're no longer dependent on Scarabs helping out, so having the extra armor is quite good.
Yeah. And Zealots with their double attack, I guess it makes sense.
Sure. Yeah, PvP when Reavers aren't made, even if it's sort of, to the layman looks kind of like, oh, this is the same matchup. It's not. The way they got there, they were able to get a lot of other things out here right away.
Yeah. I actually really prefer Reaverless PvP, to be honest. I like the speed lots and the high Templar and kind of the unit movements. I feel like it's kind of more high octane, fast pace.
Yeah, the Reaver can be frustrating. It's like a thing you have to learn as a Protoss player, because I know, myself included, I would try to play around just getting Reavers because I thought it was... I didn't like the idea of having to be entirely dependent on this unit, but... Oh, hold on a second. We got this attack coming up here. And it looks like Rain's actually going to come in between these 2 locations here, which seems pretty ambitious considering he can't get all of his army up on the high ground. And, of course, getting Dragoons down a ramp in a fight like this is hard.
Yeah, seriously. He's having a hard time getting out of there. Well, it looks like a few extra units were sent by Rain up towards Harangi's top left, but those get cleaned up as well. All right, Psystorms start to fly. Now, what is the next step? Because it feels like they're pretty even right now. I can't even believe he's going back to that ramp.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by that play. That just doesn't seem like it's a good idea at all.
But now that they both have very similar armies, upgrades, all that stuff, like, what is your next goal here as either player? How do you break out of doing the same mirror as your opponent?
You're trying to look for a positional contain. So you're both going to be even on bases, right? I mean, this doesn't have some of the same... Like, okay, first of all, I got to say, I'm really surprised that there's even a fight going on here at this ramp.
I think, is he just trying to poke this expand? Is that like what's going on?
That might be it. So you're looking for a position, right, where you can contain them or bottleneck them. And it might be that he says, if I have an observer over here, I can storm the natural and punish him in that way, which is not a bad idea. Unfortunately, I think Harangi killed off way too many extra units back there, so now Rain has to give this up.
Yeah.
But basically, you're both trying to expand, and you're trying to find some kind of position where you can contain them where they can't quite advance forward. Now, on this map, it's, I'd say, one of the hardest maps in PvP to find a good contain point because there's nowhere super desirable in the middle to try to control them. And keep in mind, we only have 1 more base that can be taken here on each side.
I know. Match point's really funny like that.
Yeah.
And again, Harangi is like starting to mine before the Nexus is even... Well, I guess actually Rain's Nexus started a little bit earlier than I thought there in the bottom right. But yeah, back to what we were talking about before. What is like the tiebreaker here, right? Because what I see right now is they're both doing basically the same thing, same unit set.
Right.
I noticed Harangi has one more armor upgrade than Rain has.
Right.
Overall, it feels like whoever is attacking is at a disadvantage. So what's the break? What do you do?
A couple things you can do. You can put a shuttle with DTs in it, drop it somewhere really important that can pull their army away. You can get a Dark Archon and try to feed back some of the Templars.
I love that one. I love that.
And it's not, I mean, we've seen Best do it and a few other players do it, but it's a really strong ability. Feedback is actually, as far as a spell that comes out and the range it has, it might be like one of the best abilities in the game.
It's
just
definitely
how easy it is to
underused.
cast. It's so easy to cast.
Yeah, no,
you will
certainly.
always, and the funny thing is Dragoons don't even fire as fast as this spell comes out. So you can actually, and you can cast it several times in a second and hit all the targets.
Oh, the super quick cooldown.
Yeah, yeah. So
it does feel like an underused spell right now. I think it might be something that comes up in the future as people are getting so good nowadays.
Yeah, because if you can feed back, let's say, 2 or 3 Templars and then come in and go for a fight, you're going to be in great shape. Because there's a limit to how many High Templars you want, ideally. Like, if you have more than 5, it seems a little bit crazy to me. So what you want to do is try to feed back their Templars. The rest of it's going to be in Archons, and hopefully that your Storms go off, do enough damage to them. Okay, so Rain's trying to do a little runaround here.
It's really interesting to see the way that his army is out around the map. Like, Rain has been more aggressive than I feel like he should be this game, and he keeps sending these counterattacks.
Well, he's sending these waves of Zealots out here trying to pull this away. Now, I want to say it's pretty ambitious what he's trying to do here by having this army, you know, get pushed into this corner and then try to hit from another location, but maybe it's going to work. I mean, he's coming in here from this angle.
Now he's taking this high ground from Harangi, who sent way too much army to the top left. Oh my god, those Psy Storms are crazy good there for Rain.
Because he forced that army to pull back, it's going to be Rain that gets his Psy Storms off before, but here come these Zealots now from the bottom.
Yeah, the flank here of Harangi, of course, all his production is to the south here. But Rain does a great job and holds on, and suddenly is up 30 supply.
Okay, he's just so good, I don't understand this game.
It seems like he is so much better.
Yeah,
and Harangi's really, really good, but just watching, like, a lot of these attacks felt counterintuitive, but the way that he's pushing Harangi around the map and then taking these ludicrous positions.
Yep, GG. It seems like he's just able to move so gracefully and start to activate himself on the map to where Harangi is having to respond, and then he gets Harangi in a weird spot. He's watching pretty carefully the army movement there. I think also, frankly, Rain was just better at production while these fights were going on.
Well, very well done there by Rain. What can I say? I'm just so impressed with the guy.
Look at
He's so
Harangi.
strong.
This is a bad day when you're losing in mirror matchup games like this.
Well, it doesn't feel like he's getting strategically behind at any point, really.
Yeah.
Like his expansions are coming up
In fact,
quicker and
sometimes
stuff,
it seems like he's strategically ahead, to be frank.
Yeah, and then he's just kind of getting outplayed. And that one in particular, it feels like Harangi just wasn't splitting his army quite correctly. He was chasing down harassment groups with a little bit too much, maybe. Very kind of interesting here. Rain is truly a god of Protoss.
But he's just so comfortable in this matchup. And I thought Harangi's build really worked out there. I mean, it got a little bit bumpy when he didn't quite have enough cannons. I think that slowed him down a lot. Having to remake that many cannons does hiccup your whole overall growth. But Rain, it just looks at the situation and plays the perfect game. It's time for Harangi to come back in game 3. Otherwise, this is going to be a 3-0. We'll be right back.
일산 대결이 시작하겠습니다.
여기에서
하나 잡고요.
네.
세계에 올라가서 벌처는 끊어내는데.
오, 마인이 벌처가 완전히 지금 인코스로 붙어버렸기 때문에 이런 어떤 그 저기서 크게 활발한 움직임들, 꾸준한 움직임들이 계속 돼야 상대방은 그냥 적적인 전투를 원하는 이런 상황이거든요.
와, 유압식 대리까지. 바로 레이스가 좀 기다리고 있어요.
암살자가 있었어요.
와, 저 밑줄 탱크가 좀 더 많고.
네.
공일업 공 2업 돼 있습니다. 여기는
네.
1업 차이예요.
네.
1업 차이가
굉장히 크죠. 탱크 간의 싸움에서.
네.
거기다가 뭐 거의 센터를 조기석 선수가 잡은 셈이나 마찬가지이기 때문에 골리앗이 아래쪽에서
안 되네요.
요 정도 이제 그 골리앗이 소수 있다가 잡혀버리게 되면 탱크를 접고 뒤로 빼거든요. 근데 골리앗 올 때까지 주변 골리앗이 올 때까지 기다렸습니다.
네, 내렸습니다.
네. 골리앗이 떨어지게 되면은 레이스도 의미가 없이
좋다네요.
예, 쫓겨날 수밖에 없죠.
네, 레이스로 드라시 끊어내면서 이병력 건너내야 되거든요.
지금도 자원난에 호독이고 있는 그 상태인데
터렛이 있고 자 그래도 병력은 이제 안쪽까지 붙지 못했습니다.
네, 이 지역은 뭐 수비하기 위한 병력이 아예 위에 올라와 있는 상황도 아니고 드랍십이 상대방보다 많은 상황도 아니었기 때문에 당연히 포기를 해야 되는 상황이었고요. 이쪽으로 지금 올라갔는데 아래쪽에 탱크 수비 라인이
네, 여기 많아요. 굉장히 많아요.
이게 아래쪽에서 드랍십을 활용했던 것처럼 활용하기를 바랬던 건데 하필이면 주력이 여기 있었어요.
네.
시제 2차 대결의 시작하겠습니다.
센터 쪽에다가 베럭스 건설해가면서
일이면 또
들어가서
아 이거 한참 멀었는데요.
절반 이제 완성됐는데 와 이것도 말리네요.
결국은 완성!
와 이거 1초
거죠.
자 갑니다. 여기
네.
이제 완성되거든요.
네, 저 앞쪽에다가
나오는 길목 차단하면서 어떻게든 잡으려고 하겠죠.
대추상을 좀 만들어 놓으면
이쪽 건너와서 네, 이쪽 건너오게 되면은 드랍십 두기 고스란히 있겠다. 그냥 탱크 뻗쳐놓고
네.
계속해서 실어 나를 수도 있는 상황인 거고.
그렇죠. 마임에서 돼 있는데요.
네.
이 탱크 차이가 좀 많이 나요.
네.
이게 물량 차이.
지역 탱크들인데 이게 균열이 가기 시작하면 다시 모으기는 불가능합니다.
아 여기 더 왔습니다. 본진에서 출발한 병력들이.
뒤에 탱크가 지금 모두 잡고 있고 자 이렇게 되면 안쪽으로 들어가면 센터들이 못 살리거든요.
네, 앞에서 골리앗이 뭔가 취재.
3차 대결의 시작하겠습니다. 1국에 동원하면서 이 싸움 첫 싸움 오. 1군
CV
뭐 하나
많이 때려서
근데 이게 추가로 나오는 머리는 생각해야 됩니다.
네.
바로 나왔어요. 나오자마자 잡아내고 살기 위한 움직임. 자 여기 조기석.
네, 그리고
하나는 지금 프리드.
아래쪽에서 뭔가 벌처의 어떤 양 자체는 계속해서 앞설 수 있는데 탱크 하나가 섞여 있는 것, 때문에 백업이 느린 부분이 오히려 병력 차이가
2차 싸움입니다.
네, 추가 자 벌처가 지금 나오는 것이 지금 당장 나와야 되는데요.
그렇죠. 조기석 선수가 조금 생각보다 일찍 공격을 나왔습니다.
네, 밀봉 당하기 싫다 이거거든요.
네.
자 세워두고 마인 데밀 들어가요.
네. 스타팅 포인트 지역 쪽을 확보하는 것이 좋을 것 같습니다.
네. 지금 자리 잡고 위치 잡고
네.
시즈 포격 1구까지 던지고 있거든요.
네.
동원해서
네, 순식간에 상대방의 아래쪽에서 힘을 주고 좀 들어오다 보니까 1군까지 동원해서 더 이상 전진을 허용하지 않겠다 이런 생각이었던 것 같은데
여기서 조기석 선수가 지금 병력 갖추고 지금 갑니다.
여기 있는 병력들이 여기 중앙에 있는 병력들이 발이 묶여버렸어요.
예. 드랍십 하나 슬쩍 쓰면서 상대가 12시 쪽을 이때쯤 신경 쓰는 그 시간 동안에 허리를 자르고도 지금은 들어왔어요. 조기석 선수의
끌어먹기.
횡단했었던
병력.
이 아래 하늘.
와 인구수 20 정도 지어버렸네요.
네.
병력까지 올라갑니다. 시장 병력과 드랍십 병력이 좀 내리면서 이 위치에 끌어먹는 싸움.
백업이 쉽지 않은 위치죠.
네. 많이 있습니다만 많이 제거하면서요.
왼쪽에 있는 확장 2개 중에 하나는 거의 다 떨어지기도 했고요.
네. 정원사 실제 더라는 정원을 먹은 김성현 선수 이번 경기 중장기전 끝에 승리 따르면서
AfreecaTV ASL Season 7. Break the frame.
Felt like I saw some concerned Harangi fans out there, Artosis.
Well, they should be concerned because Harangi right now is getting biddly bopped.
Yeah, he is getting smashed. He does not look comfortable in his seat right now.
You know those like big novelty squeaky hammers that you can hit someone on the head and it goes boom, and it doesn't hurt?
Yeah.
It's like Rain is hitting him with one of those, except it's a real hammer and it's crushing his skull and killing him.
I mean, the way that some of these games have ended and the fact that Harangi wasn't actually in a really terrible spot at the start of some of these games.
Yeah.
Just goes to show you how scary of a player Rain is. Now, our next map is Blockchain. I'm not sure. I was talking to you about this on the break, Artosis. I feel like this map is one where it might actually be a good idea to get more than one shuttle with Reavers in it. It seems like a third base is a hard thing to hold here. If they're staying on Reaver Tech, I don't know, though. We're going to find out by what Rain does this game.
Shuttle play does seem good on this map. There's no question about that. So wouldn't be surprised if we see both players go Reaver here. That's for sure.
Okay, our game's ready on the map blockchain. Rain versus Harangi.
Fight!
Fight until you die by the pain of the one you hate. End of reason, end of the game. Die by the pain of the one you loved.
Now playing in blockchain.
All right. Very happy to see that they are not horizontal spawns, because I think that could have messed up what the beauty that we could see here.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you go horizontal spawns, I'm like, oh, that middle base is not going to be taken, but here they can both be taken. I wonder if there's any possibility on this map that you could end up in a game where one player is going carriers.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Carriers are pretty awful. I mean, if they were to start to go
on
carriers,
a map like this,
no
is there
Artosis.
some possibility,
No
Tasos?
Artosis.
Because they're good against Terran on this map.
no Artosis, they're not. No, I mean, if it were to happen,
So you're
that would
saying
be so cool.
Protoss is such a good and strong race that it doesn't even fear carriers on blockchain?
Yeah, just like Zerg. Yeah.
Holy
yeah.
God.
I mean,
oh no, Zerg would fear it if they just didn't die.
If they just didn't have
immediately
Dark
to
Storm.
everything else.
But no, I mean, carriers are kind of a weird thing. Now, in maps where it's like a lot of islands, and there's not some kind of main landmass that connects everything, then it's more doable. But no, carriers
Now,
are just, yeah.
If one of them were going carriers,
Yes, go ahead.
would the other player want to go scouts against that or stay on Dragoons?
I think you go for mind control and just win the game. Yeah.
But what about feedback against that?
Or you guys, you could just make a lot of Dragoons and Psystorm and just like what you were normally going to get and kill it
But
anyways.
then the carriers can kill that, Tasos.
No,
So
this is like
what about that, Tasos?
This is like arguing with someone on the Battle.net forums right now. I'm just like, I can't do this, man.
So going back to my initial question,
Yeah.
would scouts be the answer?
As long as you get the speed upgrade, yes.
But then you can
You
go
need that scout vision
Corsairs
upgrade, yeah.
against the scouts.
That's a good point, Artosis.
So Corsair carrier.
You know, here's the other thing too: is if you were to go in for carriers, you know, in TVP, there's like this period where you can punish them while they're trying to get it, or the Protoss can't really do anything to you. It's already happening very easily when you're going for Dragoons already, because Dragoons organically come out in this matchup and are prioritized because they have to fight the Reavers. They can out micro against Zealots that are slow. Even on this map, Artosis, blockchain, we can check the ledger. I don't think carriers are viable in this matchup.
Okay.
Now, if there were to be a game, I mean, trust me, I would want that more than anything because it would be fun to cast and see how they would play it, but I'm not sure.
Well, I can cross my fingers and hope.
Yes, you can pray if you want to.
So, do you think on these positions that they take the low ground natural, or they take the one with the less resources?
I think it's the low ground natural, but I'm not sure. The thing is, the other one with less resources, it's quite a distance to travel to protect.
But if you're going shuttles or carriers. Now, is that Dragoon range or air attack, Tasteless?
Could be air armor. Let's not count anything out
Air
here.
armor, whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
Air armor, that at least helps the shuttle, Artosis.
The observer lives through an extra cannon shot.
Exactly. So we have 2-gate Dragoon for Harangi so far. He's not going to make anything else until this probe is killed. Oh, get him. No. Okay, he gets it. There you go. Got to be careful, man. Sometimes that Dragoon just quits at life.
Where's Harangi going with that probe?
I don't know.
Could it be a sneaky expansion or a hidden tech? Is he just taking the scenic route?
He could try to hide a Nexus here.
Yeah. Oh,
Rain is going for 3 gates. What in the world? Yeah, look at that probe over there for Harangi. I mean, it looks like he wants to set up a Nexus.
Yeah. Well, if he hides a base and sits on top of his ramp, and Rain is sitting here going 3-gate goon, I tell you, he's going to be the one that's a goon because he's not going to be able to do anything.
oh, you made me laugh when I was yawning. So I'm like,
Are you
Lucio,
okay?
No.
Oh my God.
I laughed beyond it, then I kind of burped.
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse me. So, at the 3-gate Dragoon, you got to be a little bit careful when you do this kind of build because you are playing a blind game.
Yeah.
The only scouting you're really doing is via the pressure of your 3-gate goons coming out and trying to shoot down whatever they've got.
Right now, Harangi is actually on pushing forward. He's only on 2 gates. He's going for a robo. Hasn't made a nexus yet over there. Looks like a spotter pylon being put up by Rain.
Keep in mind this ramp is actually pretty small. I don't think the 3-gate goon is actually kicked in yet when the next 2 waves come out. And he is going to go for the hidden nexus. Now, this is actually about as ideal as you can ask for considering that his opponent went 3-gate goon. But here comes the push down.
Well, it seems to me he is losing every single unit he has.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize Rain was going to break down this scarily. Okay, so here's the problem, is that he might kill him without ever finding out about the 3rd base, or the 2nd base, excuse me.
Yeah, he might not even know. This might be kind of a record-breakingly quick series, especially compared to last night. All right, he's counterattacking with this goon. Sees that it's 3-gate. Uh-oh. What do you do when you have no units and he's attacking with a lot of units?
Oh, you pull your probes.
Okay.
Oh my God, his targeting's like so good. Okay, so one of the things that's kind of weird about this is once he saw there was nothing at the bottom of the ramp, I don't think you're supposed to stay there as Harangi.
Right? Yeah.
You're just supposed to go back. If he had his Dragoons at the top of the ramp, he would have been okay. This is like a really bad day for Harangi because it's like everything's going wrong.
Yeah,
a lot of PvP we can actually cast based off some in-game theory, GG, but this time around, Rain is just so much better. Like, that push down the ramp was so perfectly done.
Yeah.
Everything was targeted so correctly. I mean, Rain.
Yeah, he looked really, really strong. So far in this ASL, he is just looking dastardly. It hasn't really had a hiccup yet so far in this season.
Nobody he's faced off against has had a close game against him.
Yeah.
If this guy, I think even last might be shaking in his boots, Artosis.
Oh, I think last is a match for Rain. They can have a very nice one, I think, in this round of 4.
That's fine,
That's
but
going to be the first time
he's
he's truly
shaking in his
tested.
boots.
Certainly.
Look at Harangi, he's so sad right now, poor guy. Well, that's rough. Anybody who's played StarCraft knows those kind of games. You just lose, you get smashed so fast. It's like, whoa.
Well,
I was not supposed to be in the round of 4.
He's going to have to go back to the drawing board with this PvP, it seems, because Rain is in a completely different
All right, let's see what Rain is thinking, and now that he's the last player to advance to the round of 4.
So Rain fills the last slot for round of 4. Congratulations. Thank you. That was almost a perfect game. Perfect score of 3-0. How do you feel?
좀 이번에 걱정을 많이 했는데
I was very worried before the match, but the match went a lot better than I expected.
첫 번째 세트에서는 참 불안해 보였었는데요.
On the first set, you seemed a little
어느 정도
shaky.
생각하셨습니까? 이 경기 해낼 수 있다 뭐 이렇게
Did you
생각을 하고
feel you could win?
사실
Or did you feel you could lose?
빌드를 좀 생각하긴 했었어요. 근데 제가
So I was trying to read opponent's build. I had prepared a secret expansion.
제가 옆에 바로 짓는 바람에 좀 많이 꼬였던 것 같아요.
But I chose the wrong spot for it. If I didn't lose that Nexus, I think I would have won much easier.
돌렸다라는 것은 알고 있었잖아요. 하지만 그 로보틱 스포츠의 그 위치를 확인하지 못한 상태에서
So you didn't check the location of opponents' robotics and forge.
센터에 지은 줄 알았는데
Where did you think it was?
안 지은 줄 알았어요. 제가 프로브로
I was expecting they would be in the center. I knew it wasn't in the main.
밖에다 지었다고 생각을 했었는데
based on my scout with the probe.
지었다고 생각하는 순간 저는 넥서스가 들킬 걸 알아가지고.
And the moment I realized he built them outside his base, I thought he would find out my Nexus.
돌파해내는데 그때
that was a very tough game. But from second set, it went much easier.
사실
What did you think when you first discovered Dark Templar? I expected him to go Dark Templar actually, and I had prepared a build to counter that.
원래 좀 빨리 나가야 되는데 안 나가길래 그냥 지었는데 제 걸 봐가지고 제가 좀 안 좋았던 것 같아요. 원래 경민이 형이 제가 4드라 갔었을 때 3드라
When I went with 4 Dragoons, he should have had 3 Dragoons, but he didn't. He had more, and I was a little surprised. Maybe I guess I got lucky.
움직임으로 이겼던 것 같아요. 중후반에.
그런데 세 번째 세트에서는 그 3게이트웨이를 선택을 했었는데
On third set, you chose to go with 3 gates.
그런 빌드잖아요. 이게 2대0으로 앞선 상태니까 또 선택을 했던 빌드인가요?
Did you go with 3 gates because you were ahead 2-0?
3게이트를 하려고 했는데 제가 프로브로
So I wanted to go 1 expansion and then go 3 gates. But when I scouted, I only saw 2 gates. He only had 2 gates, so I went for 3 gates straight away.
볼 수 있었던 경기들이었는데요. 또 시즌 5 이후에 2시즌 만에 4강 진출이에요. 시즌 5에서는 또 우승까지 했던 만큼
So
이번 시즌에도 역시 좀
it's been 2 seasons since you made it to round of 4. Ever since you won season 5, do you think you can win the championship this time again?
아직 뭐 그 정도 선수는 아닌 것 같아요. 그래서
Many have been saying that I'm a strong nominee to become champion this season, but I think that's a little exaggeration.
상대가 힘들지만
But the opponents are quite tough.
결승까지는 꼭 가고 싶어요.
But of course, I do want to make it to final.
확실히 정윤종 선수가 상대하기에도 조금 호락호락하지 않은 느낌의 선수인가 봐요.
Do you think Last is a tough opponent?
성현이가 진짜 잘한다고 생각을 많이
Yes,
했어가지고
I've always felt that Last is an excellent player.
테란전이어서 뭐 프로토스가 약간 유리하다고 할 수 있겠지만
Some may say I have the advantage since it's PVT, but I won't underestimate him.
도치페이를 선택하셨는데 원래 그런 성향이십니까? 저랑 만약에 밥을 먹는다면 저 예산은 어떻게 해야 될까요?
사주셔야 되는 거 아니에요?
도치페이 해야죠.
네.
아 도치페이 해야죠.
So the rumor says you prefer to do Dutch pay when you eat with someone. Would you do Dutch pay if you were to have dinner with us?
네, 알겠습니다.
And yes, I do. It will be Dutch pay.
Oh, no. 정말 많이 현장을 찾아주셨습니다. 그만큼
What's Dutch pay?
정윤종 선수도
You pay with
높이
kroners?
올라가길
You pay with wooden shoes.
네, 우선 솔직히 셋이라고 그 말을 들었을
The
때
last words to fans. I thought we wouldn't have many fans since the games are earlier today. But a lot of fans came. And I'm really grateful. See you in round of 4. Thank you.
자, 이렇게 해서 이번 시즌의 마지막
Thank you, John.
기술자 정윤종
Dutch pay is when you
선수와
split the
함께
bill,
얘기를
right? Yeah.
나눠봤습니다.
Yeah, that's what you should do, probably. Or I think, well, technically, I think it's where you just pay for what you owe. So, like, you get a salad, I get a sandwich, I just pay for the price of the sandwich, you pay for the price of the salad.
But what if I only ate half my salad? Can I just pay for half of that?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, so that was ludicrously one-sided fast.
Yeah.
It took less than half the amount of time of Last for sure.
Oh, yeah. It was crazy how fast today was. And we actually had, like, some long PvPs here, especially game 2. I mean, that was going straight in the late game. So, up next, guys, we've got Mini versus Effort, and then Last versus Rain.
Yes, indeed. We're going back to our regular schedule, which will be Sunday, 7 p.m., round of 4, match number 1. Mini versus Effort. That should be fantastic. The defending champion going up against the highest win percentage of PVZ in the ASL in Mini. And then, of course, on Tuesday, we'll be having Last against Rain at 7 p.m. And then we are going to have a 3rd, 4th place match before the finals. Let's not forget that.
That's right. I'm really curious to see how Mini versus Effort is going to go. It seems like Mini is the Zerg killer.
Yes, well, he is. There's no way to argue it otherwise, right? He's got a higher win percentage than Bisu, if I'm not mistaken.
And then Last versus Rain, this is a really tough one to call. I mean, both Last and Rain are looking so powerful right now.
It's that BlizzCon match again, right? These guys are like basically the most successful. They've been nailing top 4s in tournament victories. Like, these are the guys, right? They have an ASL champion, a KSL champion, as well as so many other high finishes. The best of the race, the second best of the race. They're really a great match for each other. There's no question.
And, of course, the ASL Season 7 Finals is at the date below. The 17th at 5 p.m. on Sunday in March. Now, you need to buy a ticket if you're going to go to that. If you're watching from overseas, go buy the ticket. Then buy your airplane ticket. I mean, I know people probably make fun of me for talking about this, but it is so sad when I open up my Twitter feed and find out that there's a group of 4 people outside the building. Yeah. That did not occur to them that this was actually a thing that they, could not get into.
The Brood War stuff sells out almost all the time, especially at finals, especially in a location like this. This is going to be just a ton of fun. The 17th of March, the weather in Seoul already getting a lot nicer.
That's right. So, finally, this winter is coming to an end.
Come and enjoy a beautiful, beautiful day at the Olympic Park.
Yes.
Some great Brood War there, no doubt. I'm very excited to see what the finals is. Who do you think it'll be, and who do you want it to be?
Effort versus Rain is who I want it to be.
Yeah, I want it to be that too, but
it might be Mini versus Rain or Last. I don't know. Mini might just beat Effort.
I think Effort's going to beat Mini, but for Last Rain, I think that's a very close match. Because Last prepares his TVP best-of-5s very well.
I would also be okay seeing Mini versus Rain as well. I think that'd be a really cool PvP to watch. I know that people kind of bemoan mirror matchups, but honestly, those guys are both so good. What we saw with Harangi was that he was a good Protoss player, but Rain is simply on another level. None of those games were even close. Once Rain got any edge in any way, the games fell apart for Harangi.
Well, if Effort can beat Mini, then he's certainly ready for Rain.
Yes.
I hope that if it is Rain Effort, I just want to see Rain really be prepped for it. Because if you remember that Jaedong finals, or not finals, but round of 4 from KSL, 4-0 from Jaedong. And I know he was playing like a man on fire, but we need better than that.
That was a weird result that we got there at the end there. So we're going to be back casting on Sunday. Okay. Our schedule's been moving around a lot here.
That's right.
And GSL will be starting up next week.
Yeah, and if you're jonesing for StarCraft before, then Katowice is going on, so check that out.
There's plenty of good StarCraft to follow.
I think today is the only day that it's off, actually, I believe, right? They finish the groups or the offline quals.
Because when we did it, there was always one day that you had
Maybe
off.
It starts today. I'm not sure. Anyways, check out Katowice.
Yes. I don't know when we're going to close this out.
Right now.
The music's playing, which means we get to go, guys. Thank you for joining us. We're sorry that the games were so short, but we will see you again on Sunday as we continue on here with the ASL. Bye-bye.
I can't stop thinking of somewhere that we could all go to stop time on a dime and remember how it feels to slow down and breathe again. 'Cause I can't remember the last time I could feel the wind on my face, and I wonder why everybody's running so fast. Am I the only one who's not afraid of coming in last? Oh, I promise it's okay to slow down. There's no way that you can miss out as long as your heart beats and you can breathe in and out. It's okay to slow down. I can't stand living in a world that's grown so cold. My skin numb as I run till my legs begin to fold in and bleed again. 'Cause I can't seem to keep up. Why do I always fall so far behind? Yeah, and everybody's running so fast. And am I the only one who's not afraid of coming in last? Oh, I promise it's okay to slow down. There's no way that you can miss out as long as your heart beats. You can breathe in and out. It's okay to slow down. Slow down.